Have you ever thought about taking a shortcut? Just for one test, one project, one small thing. It seems harmless, right? A quick peek at a neighbor's paper, a little help from the internet. What's the big deal? Today, I want to tell you a story about a student named Alex, who was the master of shortcuts. His story might make you think twice. Alex wasn't the top student, not by a long shot. He was clever, but not in the way his teachers hoped. While others spent nights studying, Alex spent his nights perfecting his methods. He had tiny notes that looked like eraser dust, a series of coughs and taps that was a secret code with his friends, and a way of borrowing ideas that was practically an art form. And it worked. Oh, it worked beautifully. His grades soared. He passed exams with flying colors, even in subjects he never opened the book for. His parents were proud, his teachers were impressed, and his friends were a little bit jealous, a little bit in awe. Alex felt invincible. He thought, why work hard when you can work smart? But his definition of smart was getting a little twisted. He wasn't learning chemistry. He was learning the art of deception. He wasn't mastering history. He was mastering the angles of his desk to see the paper next to him. He got so good at it that he started to believe his own hype. He felt he was smarter than everyone else because he had found a way to beat the system. The high of getting an A he didn't earn was addictive. It was a thrill, a secret victory that only he knew about. He was winning the game of school, but he didn't realize he was playing the wrong game entirely. Graduation day came. Alex threw his cap in the air with the rest of them, a diploma in his hand that felt both heavy and hollow. He'd made it. He'd won. He landed a coveted internship at a prestigious engineering firm, the kind of place everyone dreamed of working. His interview went well. He was charming, confident, and had a transcript that sparkled. He thought, this is it. I'm set for life. The first few weeks were a blur of meetings and introductions. It was easy enough. He nodded along, took notes he didn't understand, and used his charm to make friends. He thought this new game would be just like the old one. He could just figure it out, find the new shortcuts. Then came the first real assignment. A senior engineer, a kind man named Mr. Harrison, handed him a set of blueprints and a complex problem. Alex, he said with a smile, we've got a structural integrity issue with the support beams on the new bridge project. I need you to run the calculations and propose a solution. Take your time, be thorough. This is important. Alex's heart dropped. Calculations. Propose a solution. He looked at the blueprints, and it was like reading a foreign language. The numbers, the symbols, the intricate lines, they meant nothing to him. In school, the answers were always on someone else's paper, or a few clicks away online. Here, there was no paper to copy from. There was no pre-written answer. The answer had to come from him, from a foundation of knowledge he had never bothered to build. He panicked. He spent the first day staring at the screen, a cold sweat on his brow. He tried searching online for similar problems, but every project was unique. He couldn't just copy and paste a solution. He discreetly asked a few colleagues for help, but his questions were so basic, so fundamental, that he was met with confused looks. Didn't you cover this in your third-year mechanics course? One of them asked, not unkindly. Alex just mumbled something and walked away, his face burning with shame. The days ticked by. The deadline loomed. The easy confidence he'd always worn like a suit of armor began to crack. He was used to the thrill of a close call, but this was different. This wasn't about a grade on a piece of paper. This was about a real bridge, real materials, the safety of real people. The weight of that responsibility was crushing. Mr. Harrison checked in on him. How's it coming along, son? He asked, peering over Alex's shoulder. Alex quickly minimized the blank document on his screen. Almost there, he lied, his voice barely a whisper, just double-checking a few things. The lie tasted like ash in his mouth. For the first time, the shortcut wasn't a clever trick. It was a dead end. He spent the night before the deadline in a state of pure terror. He couldn't eat, he couldn't sleep. He saw the faces of his parents, the proud smiles of his teachers, and all he felt was fraud. He had cheated his way through a system designed to teach him, and now, when it mattered most, he had nothing, no skills, no knowledge, just a hollow diploma and a crushing sense of failure. The next morning, he walked into Mr. Harrison's office, defeated. He couldn't even look the man in the eye. He placed the untouched blueprints on the desk. I can't do it, Alex confessed, his voice breaking. I don't know how. He told him everything. The years of cheating, the elaborate systems, the lies. He expected to be fired on the spot, to be humiliated and thrown out. But Mr. Harrison just listened patiently. When Alex was done, there was a long silence. Then, the older man sighed. Alex, he said, his voice gentle but firm, we hired you based on that piece of paper. We trusted it, but the paper isn't the job. The knowledge is, you spent years learning how to pass tests, but you never learned how to be an engineer. He wasn't fired. Instead, he was reassigned. He was taken off the big projects and put on the most basic, entry-level tasks. He was essentially starting over, doing the work of a first-year intern. while his peers moved on to bigger things. It was humiliating. Every day was a reminder of what he didn't know. He had to ask the questions he should have known the answers 2 years ago. He had to study at night, for real this time, not to pass a test, but to understand, to actually learn. It was a long, slow, and painful process. There were no more shortcuts. Every piece of knowledge had to be earned through hard work. He was building his foundation, brick by painful brick, long after the house should have been finished. Alex's story is a powerful reminder. Cheating might win you a grade, a diploma, or even a job interview, but it will never win you the game of life. Life doesn't have an answer key you can steal. Its tests are real-world problems, unexpected challenges, and moments that demand genuine skill, real knowledge, and strong character. The things you learn, the skills you build, the integrity you develop, that's the real prize. The hard work isn't an obstacle. It's the entire point. It's what shapes you into the person who can face life's tests and not just pass, but succeed. So, the next time you're tempted by a shortcut, remember Alex, build your foundation strong. Because you never know when you'll be asked to build a bridge. Thank you so much for watching. If this story resonated with you, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more content that makes you think. We'll see you in the next video.